Good morning, guys. Welcome to the channel, our channel, Divine Truth Tarot. I'm Sarah, and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. Something very interesting just happened. I was 7.5 minutes into a video, and my phone cut out. And I was talking about what's going on in the world. So tell me that they're not listening. I was talking about being red-pilled and blue-pilled, and I'm surprised it doesn't shut off now. And it literally, in that split second, it cut off. So I find that very interesting. It's not even the right word. What I want to say before we go into the reading, let me just introduce the decks. I have the Sacred Rebels deck, the Osho Zen Tarot, and the Halloween Oracle. What I want to say, there's some really important information that I want to get across. Hopefully, I'm going to be allowed to do that. The first thing I want to mention is very quickly, and I won't bore you guys with this, but for those of you wanting readings in November, I do have a few spots left, so you may contact me about that. And for those of you wondering about December, I may just take 2 weeks off, and I may do readings for the other 2 or 3 weeks of December. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the calendar, but I may just take 2 weeks off. So I may not take the whole month off, but I will definitely let you know. So stay tuned. I'll make announcements in the videos. Okay, enough of that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting one another. There's some interesting energies that need to be discussed. That's what I was trying to do in my previous video before I got cut off. There is interference of a high level right now going on in these connections. And it's very important that the masculine be tasked with doing the work in the in the 3D of finally ending these karmic connections. It's very important. So if your masculine has gone quiet, if your masculine has gone silent, if your masculine has quote unquote ghosted you, our masculines don't actually ghost us, but it looks like that in the matrix. It looks like that. It feels like that. If that's happened, understand that that's happening because there's a war being waged in the 3D. So the masculines are on foot, if you will, in the 3D, okay? And they are experiencing the chaos. They're experiencing the upheaval. They're experiencing literally the rug has been lifted out from underneath them. It's been ripped out. I've been saying this all year, but now it's really, really taking action. It's really taking course. The masculines feel like their whole lives have been for nothing. Why did I work so hard? Why did I save all that money? Why did I try to have the perfect family? Why did I follow society? Why did I mold myself into other people's versions or identities of me? Masculines are facing some heavy karma at this time. So if you are in separation or no communication, okay, understand that separation is preparation, yes. No communication right now is protection. Rejection is God's protection. You are being protected by your higher self, your counterpart's higher self, and by the universe, God, whomever you believe in. Okay, there is a divine plan at this time. Things are only going to ramp up. I'm actually offering a new reading, which I'm very excited about. Just introduced it, just unrolled it yesterday. It's the Age of Aquarius reading. We are headed into the Age of Aquarius on December 21st, when Saturn and Jupiter will meet, okay? Rolling into the Age of Aquarius. This is 200 years in the making. So things are about to be shaken up in a major way. Revolution. It's revolutionary energy. That's why we're calling it the New Earth. Nothing will be the same. And we've been gearing up to this all year and second half of last year. More than that, but really gearing up. Second half of last year, especially the last 3 months, as well as all year. And so reaching the Age of Aquarius, what does that look like for you? So that reading is going to be an in-depth reading. What does that look like for you? What's changing for you? What's being shaped for you? What's coming out of the shadows for you? Because everything will be brought into the light. So what is the shadow work that needs to be done or that has been done for you? And how are you transmuting? How are you releasing, okay, the darkness or the heaviness? How are you stepping into the light? So that I'm super excited about that. It's going to be my new baby. So as a collective rolling into the Age of Aquarius, feminines really need to be on point and yes, grounding grounding to make sure that you're balanced. Meditation, actual earthing, salt baths, yoga, breath work. But also, at the same time, being present in those 5D worlds and ensuring that you're doing your part against the spiritual warfare and that you are holding this connection up. And I know it's getting really hard right now because there's a distortion that's being shown in the 3D where things aren't what they seem more than ever before. Okay, there's fear, there's silence, there's perceived separation. And it may feel like your counterpart has deserted you. They may feel like you've deserted them. There's a lot of distortion. Things aren't what they seem. And there's illusion and fear surrounding this. So more than ever before, it's time to put that Superwoman or Superman cape on and go to work. So I want to look into the energies of this. It's only going to ramp up more and more. Everything is going to come to the light in the age of Aquarius. Okay, things are going to rapidly shift, and it's no surprise that it is so close to the US elections. It's no surprise that this is all unfolding the way it is. So let's take a look at the Sacred Rebels Oracle. To me, Aquarius is a rebel. I have a brother who's an Aquarius, and I've never really dated an Aquarius, but my brother's a rebel. My brother's a free thinker, independent thinking, right? Free thinker, visionary. And so I thought, what better deck, than talking about the age of Aquarius, than to take a peek into the Sacred Rebels deck. This is one of my earlier decks, but it is one of my favorites. And I don't pull it out as often as maybe I should, but not every reading calls for it. But this one in particular is calling for it. Let me just adjust my microphone here, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, that's better, I think. All right. Archangel Michael, please create a sphere of protection around this reading, around the cards, around myself, around everyone watching, around the room, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, what does the collective need to know here as we go into the age of Aquarius? Yeah, this speaks of the illusions that are afoot. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. So can you get out of your mind? There's a song. It's like, I don't know if it would be classified as hip hop or dance, electronica, but get out of your mind. It was on So You Think You Can Dance. Get out of your mind. Love that song. Love that song. It was an incredible dance also, if you saw it. I can't remember who danced it or what season. It was years ago, probably 5-7 years ago, but it was really, really great. And I was in my living room trying to dance to it, looking like a fool, but enjoying myself nonetheless. So look at the DNA helix here. This is about that deeper connection. Okay, this is about, her eyes are closed. And whenever the eyes are closed in a card, we know that we're being asked to go within and to see clearly with your third eye. You can see her third eye is represented here. So seeing with the third eye, not seeing with your two eyes. There's a cosmos inside, okay? There's a connection here on a cellular level between you and your twin. And it's interesting because we also have the fall, autumn leaves. So I do feel like this is exactly what I've been speaking about, that the feminines are asked to go within during the fall time. You're asked to go within and really quiet your mind and really allow yourself to hear when things are quiet. Think of the hustle bustle of the world, the murmur of the TV on in the background, or the phone ringing, or all of these, or a podcast playing in the background. We have all these distractions now in our 3D world, but what happens when you just turn off the lights, you go into nature, and you allow things to be quiet? I think you're going to see a lot of feminines retreating at this time, a lot of light workers in general, not necessarily even just twin flames, retreating, starseeds as well, as we process what's happening, as we are integrating these energies and processing. I think we're going to see a lot, at least I hope so, a lot of the ascension symptoms sort of ease as we integrate. So now we're in the process of integration, which will have its own aches and pains of its own. But I don't feel like it's going to be the heavy duty, just feeling like you're being body slammed or hit by a Mack truck in the morning. I think a lot of that is going to ease as we start to, again, integrate the energies. One thing that I'm being called to also here, the seashell at her ear, which tells me again that there's a knowing, there's a hearing, there's a conversation that's being had in her mind's eye, okay, with her higher self. And then we have the nest here in her hair, the feathers in the nest. There's just so much going on in this card. And so I feel like this speaks to the newness of something, the birth of something, right? It's like these are the eggs, they haven't yet been hatched. So again, integration, not yet hatching that which has been born, but sort of allowing things to take shape on their own. Feminines are really going to be asked to relax at this time and completely step back from this connection, a lot of us. And those of us who are in complete separation at this time, it's requiring more faith than we possibly could conceive that we had or have, and it's requiring us to trust in the darkness, to trust in the quietness, to trust in the silence. And that's a task, if you ask me, that's way more challenging than being asked to trust when you're in communication. Because if I compare when I was in regular communication with my twin, or even many separations of a few weeks here and there, it's nothing compared to the separation and the silence that's been prevalent for most of 2020 for not just myself, but for a lot of twins. And it's trusting in the unseen. It's being able to really step into that higher realm of faith that, again, I didn't really know that I had. Have I wavered? Absolutely. Have I been perfect? No. Have I questioned my sanity? Yes. Have I questioned this whole journey? Absolutely. And in fact, I think if you're not doing that, then I question, are you actually on the twin flame journey? Because it takes everything of you. It asks everything of you to be on this journey. So if you're not having those questions, if you haven't, not necessarily right now, but if you've never had those feelings or questions, are you really on the twin flame journey? Because this is a journey about going within and questioning all your beliefs, questioning everything you've ever believed in, everything you've ever thought, every relationship you've ever had. You just integrating the shadow side, doing the ancestral trauma healing. It takes everything. It asks so much of us. Power of attraction. Look, what do we have here? We have spiritual union, right? We have our counterpart. You can see how they look alike. So I would call them twins, even though she's the female embodiment, he's the male embodiment. But they look alike and they're connected here. There's a sphere of energy, a ball of energy that's connecting the two of them energetically. So in knowing that what is beyond the 3D and whatever you can see, that this is the truth. And we're really going to be asked to go into our knowing. In fact, some of you who are in communication might see your counterparts sort of retreat for the next several weeks here as we each do our integration. Not all. Some will stay in communication, but others will retreat. You may feel, and it may feel like, right, this journey, we know it goes, I'm going forwards and I'm going backwards, and I go forwards and it feels like I'm backpedaling. That happens often as we get closer to union. We feel like we've backpedaled, and yet the wheels are in motion. Okay, the ball is rolling behind the scenes. It's just that, again, we can't see it with our two eyes. And what we can't see with our two eyes, we say, oh, it's not real. But actually, we should be questioning the 3D matrix. Is anything in the 3D matrix even real? It's just a figment, an aspect of our imagination. Right? Have we got it all wrong? Have we got it all backwards? Yes. So the truth lies within the heart. Okay? The power of attraction, the attraction of the soul. And this speaks to me very much of a divine contract. A very kingly and queenly nature here. So I wrote down a few notes last night. And I said, let it rain. R-A-I-N, and let us reign, R-E-I-G-N. So it's interesting to see this king and queen energy. Let it rain, right? Let it rain. Let them try to take this from us because they can't, because it's our divine right or divine order. And let us reign, R-E-I-G-N. Let us reign as the kings and queens that we came here to be. I think that'll be the title of the video. What do you guys think? I finally came up with a good title. It only took me 9 months, 10 months. Okay. Yeah. So, new birth, guarded vigilantly. This is interesting, right? Because what do we have here? We have the bird's nest. So there is something being birthed, and you're being asked to guard this very vigilantly, divine feminine, to protect this, to withdraw if you need to. And this is a very withdrawn energy. This is a very withdrawn energy. These are withdrawn energies. I do feel like a lot of twins and star seeds and light workers are going to retreat, okay, for the next few months of the year. Many of us have already done that, but maybe even more so where you're only talking to a few people, because it's going to feel like you literally can't stand being around people in the 3D. You can't stand shallow conversations. You're just not going to be able to handle it. It's going to just be exhausting to you on every level, physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically. And you're just going to need to retreat. If you have to go to a holiday event or something, or with family, you're just going to excuse yourself early. Some of you may feign sick, or you just may want to celebrate alone, but not because you're not going to feel lonely. You're going to actually embrace your own company. This is the birth of the new earth. Okay, we're guarding it very vigilantly, but also this is the birth of the new us. The birth of the new divine feminine, the birth of the new divine masculine within us, reaching inner union, okay, reaching inner union, and accepting the masculine energy within you, accepting the feminine energy within you, accepting both parts of you. And this is really what's coming through right now heavily, is this inner union energy that precipitates the outer physical union. We have to defend to the end the worthwhile. There is a warrior spirit in this woman. She has cried. She has shed tears. She has had her heart broken. She has had her spirit broken. And yet she is protected, and she will not give up. Owl spirit indicates her intuition, trusting her inner knowing. I know that this is worthwhile. I know that I am a warrior. I know what I'm here for. Many of us feel like warriors that have reached our wits' end. Many of us feel like warriors that are just completely, utterly exhausted with this process. Like, I am so completely exhausted. I can just hear you guys saying, I'm so completely exhausted, and like, when is it going to end? Defend to the end. I'm not giving up. Warriors of the light. Warriors of the path. I have to remind myself these days that I chose this path because it has been extremely challenging. There have been moments where I've just wanted to just literally hop off the path and say adios, see you later, peace. And I have had to really, really do some deep digging and searching within. What's really helped me, because I just want to be vulnerable and completely honest with you guys. This has not been rainbows and butterflies and fluff, marshmallow fluff for me either. What's really helped me is going deep into my hypnotherapy studies, having something this year. I started in April. So having something to really dive into and occupy my time, but I'm not distracting myself. I'm learning, I'm educated, and I'm so excited to be able to introduce myself as a clinical hypnotherapist and be able to help others on such a profound, deep level that it's giving me a new meaning. It's giving me a new identity, and it just feels so divinely guided. So if you can find that, a study or a course, right? Or just a new avenue, a new way to express yourself, a new dance technique, or whatever it might be. You take up a new yoga studio, or you start running, or you climb trees or you travel or whatever it is for you that lights your spirit up. And that's what has lit my spirit up this year. And I feel like without that, I may have crumbled. So I almost felt like it's not that I was clinging to something. It's that I felt like I really need to focus on evolving myself as a soul and my journey, my individual journey. Because I think we need to remember that yes, we're a twin flame, but we're also us. And I think that's important at this time so that we don't have that sense of enmeshment, which I feel is very unhealthy. And you see that in a lot of twin flame communities. We're enmeshed with the twin and you forget your own solo identity. And I feel a lot of us have really, again, gone within to go back and reclaim that identity, that sovereignty. And yet at the same time, we are warriors. We are warrior spirits. We are warrior gods and goddesses, kings and queens. And we're defending our queendom and kingdom to the end. So even while we're over here being sovereign, learning new things and developing, basically building our empire, we haven't forgotten about our twin flame. It's just that we know we have to move forward in order to move forward. We can't just stay in one place. And a lot of divine feminines have also let go of a lot of distractions, as in addictions, codependency. A lot of feminines have released toxic people, toxic behaviors this year. I do think the masculines will follow suit in 2021. So that's really beautiful to see. I'm really having a good time with these Sacred Rebels cards. I don't really want to switch over. Softly, softly, the tender touch. So divine feminines, it's beautiful because what we see here is the warrior, and yet we see her softness even in this. We see her softness and we see her coming to light. There's more color being added to her auric field here. So you've gone through hell and back, okay? You've gone through this dark night, this prolonged dark night of the soul, divine feminine, and then you come back. You come back stronger than ever, wiser than ever, more powerful than ever before. And look, it's like there's magic being spewed from her mouth. There's magic pouring out of her. It's funny because both of these women have tears. And yet these are tears cried in darkness. These may be tears cried when you felt alone or lonely. And these are tears being cried. There's such an ethereal beauty about this person, this energy. There's, it's like tears of tenderness. It's not tears of fear or tears of loneliness, like I feel like are coming from this card. This is tear, or like just being weary from the battle. I feel like this is on the other side of that. Getting your vulnerability back, stepping back into that vulnerable space, because feminines haven't really felt safe to be in that space. We've had too much on our plates. We've had too much on our shoulders. We've been waging the war in the 4D and the 5D. We haven't been able to necessarily surrender or be vulnerable for most of 2020. So a lot of feminines were really kind of stuck in the divine masculine energy through no fault of their own because of what has transpired this year energetically. So feminine's coming back to a more tender place, crown chakra being really lit up here, right? We have this sphere of energy, sacred geometry, divine ordinance, divine order, and Archangel Metatron. So this also tells me divine timing is at play, that everything transpired the way it needed to this year. And now it's not that we're not still warriors. It's that there's a tenderness that's being birthed here within us that's going to be guiding us from this point forward. While the masculines really take over in the 3D, the feminines are really going to fall back into the 5D. But you're going to be speaking more tenderly. And don't be surprised if you surprise yourself, feminines, and you start to develop just a softer way about you. A softer way. Let's head over to the Osho Zen deck. And like we're on a journey. Let's head over there. Let's open that door. And let's see. Three of Swords. Queen of Cups. Yeah. So Queen of Cups. That's really who I see here. I know some readers call the Queen of Cups the karmic person or karmic energy. I don't feel that at all. I feel like the Queen of Cups is open. She's tender. She's receptive. It's the yin energy to the yang. It's the divine feminine essence. It's the lotus flower blooming. It's opening up oneself. Okay, allowing yourself to feel bare and exposed and vulnerable. Three of Swords speaks to this energy of being iced out. And again, we have tears. So there's a lot of emotional energy in this reading that speaks to me of the pain that this year has brought for twins, the pain of being isolated from one another, both physically, emotionally, mentally. And some of you have felt, even the spiritual distance in the 5D. It's been painful. I mean, let's not sugarcoat this. It's been painful for both twins. So definitely there's a sense of wanting the ice to melt around your hearts and wanting to, again, soften. Let's soften from this place. Let's soften from this sort of warrior energy. And let's really allow ourselves to expose our deepest fears and vulnerabilities to each other like we did in the beginning. I feel like there's going to be a sense of that happening. If your twin, if you're in communication or not in communication, it doesn't matter. But if your twin, regardless, hasn't really been open with their feelings, expect that to shift and change. Expect that to shift and change as they begin to open up. Okay? That's what I'm feeling with this. With these cards flying out together, expect that to shift. And as you get that shift, Divine Feminine, you're going to be surprised, and it very likely will come out of nowhere. So yeah, if you're in communication, but your twin has sort of just been lollygagging, and you've just sort of been, oh, let's just be friends, or it's been very casual, expect that to shift and change here very quickly. These energies are no joke, okay? The astrology of 2020 has been no joke. It's all played out exactly as astrologers predicted. I have a lot of respect for astrologers. And not only that, but this Saturn-Jupiter divine interaction conversation meetup is going to shift everything. It's already shifting. It's not like we don't wait until it happens for everything to shift. It starts shifting just like Mercury retrograde. We go into shadow before and then, shadow after. Okay, we've been feeling these energies for quite some time. We're ready to step into the age of Aquarius, and 2020 has been preparing us to do just that. Two of Wands. So we have air energy, water energy, and now fire energy. We're just missing Pentacles. I bet you there's the Pentacles on the bottom. Nope. Eight of Cups. So Two of Wands. The possibilities exist right now, and the possibilities are endless. And this is not a time for narrow thinking. It's not a time for a limited perspective. It's a time to accept that there are limitless possibilities in this multi-universe. We live in a multiverse, okay? There's no one right way or wrong way. There are many ways to truth. There are many paths to take. Many ways to truth, many paths to take. The Six of Cups. This is my soulmate or twin flame card. This is the card of past love. This is the card of yearning and longing and sort of wishing upon a star, dreaming of that person, the way things used to be, reminiscing, okay, of old times. This is the masculine. Feeling sadness at the absence of the feminine. Even if you're in communication with your masculine, it's likely that you're holding back feminine. You may even not fully understand why. You may want to say so much to them, but you're just holding back. because the universe has been holding both twins back in different ways. I haven't really had anybody say to me, oh, we're in full blast communication. I feel like we're in full union. I haven't heard that. What I've heard is we're in communication, but things are moving slow. We're in communication, but it's hot and cold. We're in communication, but it's in and out. We're in communication, but it's very superficial. It's a surface level conversation. So the masculines are masking their feelings at this time. They're crying about the feminine. They feel very isolated, very lonely. They can't talk to anyone in their 3D world about this. The feminine is the only one that would understand, and yet they've iced her out. Okay, or the universe has iced her out from him. Like, a lot of these masculines have literally been held back from the feminines, and they don't even understand why. They want to reach out. They want to see you. They just have felt like they can't. And I feel like a lot of them are going to be communicating that as soon as they're able. 4 of Cups, okay? So this is the energy of needing to trust your inner reserves. It's not allowing yourself to be haunted. I don't know if you can see those figures there, by the ghosts of the past. It's interesting to get a lot of Cups energy, a lot of emotional energy. It's interesting to get the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Cups together so close in a reading. The masculine's trying to contact the feminine. If you're not in contact in the 3D especially, or if you're in minimal contact or that superficial contact, they're trying to connect with you on the 5D. This is what they're trying to do, it through meditation, through yoga. So they're trying to have a conversation because you haunt them. Like, this also shows that, like, they can't let you go. They've tried unsuccessfully to release themselves from you, to sort of, like, whatever burden they felt this connection was, I just want to release it, but they've been unable to. It's been very unsuccessful. So let's head over to the Halloween Oracle, and so what's to come up here, please? Tell me about what's shifting in the matrix for the masculines to break free. What's shifting in the matrix for the masculines to break free? This card, it didn't flip out, but it flipped over, and I was guided to take it. Owl. So we have 2 cards of the owl here. Intuition, wise knowing, wise seer, right? Wise seeing, wise action. Okay, so what is shifting for the masculines in the 3D, in the matrix, so that they can come forward? They're seeing things clearly. Look how big the eyes are. I'm really drawn to the eyes in this picture. Look how wise those eyes are. Old, ancient eyes, old souls these masculines are. And they're starting to see clearly. The fog has been lifted and the veil has been lifted. Whatever has clouded their judgment from seeing the feminine clearly, seeing the matrix clearly, seeing the karmic situation clearly, and seeing what this connection with the feminine truly is, has been lifted. And that's going to allow them, and this is like the perfect answer to my question, wise seeing, wise action. What is going to shift? They're going to see clearly, then they're going to be able to take wise action. If your masculine hasn't taken action yet, it's because it wasn't the right time. It's because they weren't yet prepared. Okay, they weren't yet prepared. And the universe didn't want them acting out of order, and the universe didn't want them saying things or acting prematurely, which would have caused further delays in the union process. And we just can't have that. We just don't have the time or space for that. Things are too important right now. We're at this turning point. We're at such a pivotal moment in the shifting of Earth, in the shifting of humanity, and the shifting of consciousness. We just simply, we can't afford a mistake like that. So masculine seeing clearly so that they can act clearly and act from a place of surety and certainty, assuredness. ancestors playing a role, the love and legacy of our DNA. We have the DNA helix here in 2 cards. So the intertwining of, the legacy of the twins, the legacy of twin flames, and also this also speaks to me, I have to say, of spirit babies and the babies that will be born, or the babies, brought into the world, or some of you will adopt children, or you're masculine, or you have children, one or the other, or both. But it speaks to that legacy that the children will also bring, the star children that they will bring into the world. But this also says to me that the masculines, part of this wise seeing, part of what's going to help them shift in the matrix or out of the matrix, is going to be their guides and their ancestors that are silently, or maybe not so silently, probably not so silently at this point, guiding them, probably like yelling at them at this point, guiding them to take proper action, right and proper action. They're helping them along the way. They're giving them advice. I feel like the masculines, that we're dreaming about the feminines for quite some time, but now I actually feel like they're meeting their spirit guides in dream state. If you're a masculine and you can confirm that, let us know. That would be really helpful. I feel like they're meeting their spirit guides, and if they have parents who have crossed over, or grandparents or ancestors of any sort, siblings, I feel like you're meeting your ancestral line as well in your dream state. Meeting your spirit guides, meeting your animal spirits. They're showing me a lot of Native American energies around as well. Because most of the twins have Native American ancestry in their bloodline in some way, shape, or form, or from past lives. Cauldron, synergy, and healing. They're finding a synergy within. Okay, they're finding the inner balance. They're finding, okay, what balances me? What makes me happy? What inspires me? Again, learning. The masculines are learning about themselves and healing. Okay, so healing. This is like 4 of Swords energy. I'm resting and I'm healing, divine feminine. And then we have scrying on the bottom here, intuition. What does that tell me? It tells me that, look, wise seeing, wise action, healing, and the ancestors. This is what's going on behind the scenes with the masculines. The masculines are very much in this energy of looking within. This is not an external. This is not looking without. They are now looking within. They are now inspired to take action based on what they've learned through this process. They realize that they're psychic, that they carry these abilities just like the feminine. They realize that they're healers. If they heal themselves, they heal not only their children, but everyone around them, but they help heal their feminine, their ancestors, future generations. They're realizing the profound effects of healing. Okay? Healing the ancestral line. They realize that they've really sold themselves short. They're really ready. I mean, these eyes just keep speaking to me. They're so ready to take action. They're so ready for things to shift. They really are. Okay. What do they want to say to their feminines? Well, I love this. Lady de los Muertos. Okay, the Lady of the Dead. Acceptance and equality. The old ways have to die, the masculine says. The new ways are being born. New birth guarded vigilantly. A new way is being born inside of your connection. And they wish to be accepted as they are, but they also are telling you, I will accept you as you are. I will accept the changes that have occurred within you. And if you accept the changes that have occurred within me this year, and I want equality, equal give and take, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, Freudian slip, 6 of Pentacles, equal give and take. That's what the masculines are asking for in this connection now. Equal give and take. I'm ready for that. That's beautiful, masculines. What else? What else do the masculines want to say to the feminine? Graveyard, unnecessary fear. Okay, interesting. This is a Halloween deck, but 2 cards. The masculine saying to the feminines, the old me has died. R.I.P., R.I.P., distorted masculine. R.I.P., old version of me. Insert your masculine's name, R.I.P. Guess what? You think I'm going to show up in the same way that I was? You think I'm going to do the same things I did? You think I'm going to put you through what I did before? This is unnecessary. It's unfounded fear. I have changed. Things have changed. My whole world has been turned upside down, and you think I'm the same person? There's absolutely no way that I'm the same person that I was when I left. or when you last saw me. The masculine has gained emotional intelligence. He'd like to tell the feminine, I have gained so much intelligence. So I've become so wise on this journey. And I want you to understand that I now understand why what I did, how my actions hurt you, how my actions affected you. I now understand. The masculine is saying in this card that I was shown how it felt to be you. I was shown, their ancestors, in fact, helped them to feel what the feminine felt. I'm just going to put these up here. Helped them to feel what the feminine felt so that they could understand what the feminine went through. So they now understand, wow, that's what my feminine felt like. When I did that, that's what she felt like. When I did this, this is what it felt like. The masculines have experienced that, and they're now coming from such a different angle. Such a different angle. The masculine says, I do regret who I was and the way that, not who I was, but the way that I acted when I didn't know any better. Okay, so I'm dealing with my regret. I'm dealing with that. I have to heal from that. And all I want, divine feminine, is for us to be happy together. I want to build this home with you. This is like very 10 of Pentacles energy. I want to build this home with you. I want happiness in our homes, happiness in our hearts. I want to give to you. I want you to understand that you don't have to fear when I do come back in. You can know that I'm bringing in a level of equality. I'm bringing in fairness. I'm bringing in an acceptance. And I understand what you've been through. I understand what I put you through. I understand what you put me through. I understand that we had to trigger each other. I understand that we had to grow and that we had to shift. And I'm no longer blaming you. Okay? If you can release, I can release. So I think I'm going to stop there. I feel like, as always, I could keep going. There's just such a story to be told right now between the twin flames, but I'm going to end there. I'm going to try to, time permitting, I have some personal readings to do and some studying to do, but time permitting, I will try to produce another video for you guys. I think I'm going to be inspired to do it as long as my voice allows me to tonight. And I'll see you guys so soon. Enjoy your Saturday. Have a beautiful day and blessings, blessings, blessings.